What's up, fam? I tried to plug in my microphone. I have a different phone, and there's no input for my headphones. I was just convincing myself that I need to use it. It has a long cord on it. I was just hyping it up. There's nowhere to plug it in on this phone. And every Android Bluetooth mic that I've gotten, every one of them don't work. Can't get it to work. All right, family. So we got cards out here. Okay, let's get the clarifiers. The first card we have is it is being revealed. So anything that was hidden is being revealed. We have snitching on themselves. So a person may have snitched on themselves. They are about to snitch on themselves. Whatever, like I said, they may have been hiding some things. And again, it is about to be revealed. Let's get clarifiers. Get clarifiers for what's out here on the deck. I have an angel deck in my hand, so let's see what clarifiers is going to come out. The next card is accept it for what it is. You see things correctly. Like you may have had, again, someone that's been hiding some things, and Spirit wants you to know that your intuition has been on point. Okay? And that you always felt that this person was hiding something. But and intuitively you know what it is, but you didn't want to believe it. Last card is by simply living your truth, you expose the lies. So here we go with lies. See if you know what I'm saying? So this person is lying. So the lies are being revealed. Bottom of the deck is being trained and gaslit to have nothing and like it. Wow, this person was trying to train you and gaslight you to accept the breadcrumbs and be happy. And then we have unfulfilled on the bottom of that card. Okay, this person was training you to be unfulfilled and like it. It is being revealed. They're snitching on themselves, either with their actions. You need to accept it for what it is. Yes, you see it correctly. You need to have more self-love. And by simply living your truth and living in self-love, you are exposing the lies because you're not taking it anymore. You have accepted for what it is, and now you don't. It it is what it is. You don't give a fuck no more. So we're about to get some clarifiers to expand on the energy that is out here. Okay, is this a lover? Is this family? Is it both? Is it career? Damn. Not the 10 of Wands, but yes, the 10 of Wands. You're releasing that burden. You're letting go of that burden. You're no longer carrying. Look at this. Bottom of the deck. 9 of Wands in the upright. The 10 of Wands is in the upright as well. You are setting up healthy boundaries. Spirit says set up healthy boundaries. Okay? Be passionate about these boundaries as well. Bottom of the deck, we also have the angel card, Khalil. And it represents absolute truth. Damn. That gives that gives the same energy as accepted for what it is. Accept it for what it is. You've been dealing with the liar. You've been gaslit to think you're crazy, to think you are tripping for not wanting breadcrumbs. You've been eating air, but gaslit that it was a nourishing meal. But you always wonder why you felt so unfulfilled at the end of the day. This person kept your nervous system in disarray. But the Khalil, y'all saw it. That's number 18, which is reduces to a number 9, which is the card of completion. You're done. Their training failed when it came to you. Okay, it says eliminates all doubt and proves the innocent. You were innocent in this. And Spirit wants to eliminate all doubt that you have, that you were seeing things correctly. Wants to remove all doubt that, yes, you were being gaslit. Yes, you were being breadcrumbed. This person covered it up really well, and had you under illusions. But yep, that's what it was. It says divine justice come through. You setting up healthy boundaries and being passionate about that is going to bring about divine justice and karmic vision. Okay, this person sees now. And don't feel bad for separating yourself. This person knows exactly why you're not responding to them. They know exactly why you don't want to talk to them. Don't let them gaslight you into just acting like nothing happened. This is how this person gets over on people, is they just sit and they continue to act like nothing has happened. They go about life like nothing has changed, to make you feel like, am I tripping? You know? It also says court of jurisdiction for our conscious. Court of wow, this person had you under a spell. It could have been a wizard or a witch operating out of low vibration. Okay? You connected with this person because they were powerful too. They just are using it from the opposite side of the spectrum. Of course, they're operating from a low vibration versus you operating from a high vibration, but that's what attracted you. It's the potential with them. So if they can achieve what they have achieved in their low vibration, you wanted to help them to come to a more higher vibrating energy and to use their gifts for good. But this person wasn't trying to hear all that. They didn't want to look at the man in the mirror. It says discerns what is right. Khalil, thank you for bringing in this divine justice and karmic vision to these people who have been hiding, but they are snitching on themselves. Okay, and we got to accept it for what it is and take off the rose-colored glasses when it comes to these people and operate in self-love. And as you do that, you simply living your truth, the lies will be exposed. You just being okay in your energy and removing yourself from this person. They're going to tell on themselves. They're going to go crazy and just spitting out whatever to try to get you back. But you're going to be able to read between the lines and discern what is right, what is real. It's this understanding of the interaction between good and evil. Didn't I say they were operating from the opposite side of the spectrum. You're operating from the good, they're operating from the evil. I heard someone say earlier today, if you're emotionally intelligent enough to manipulate, you can be emotionally intelligent enough to elevate. And again, that goes to what I was saying before in regards to your attraction to this person. They have an understanding of emotions. They just use it for bad and not good. They use it for selfish fucking reasons. This person is selfish. Accept it for what the fuck it is. You see correctly. They are selfish. Yes, they may get you things from here and there. They may be generous but all of this is part of strategy. It's all strategic. This person that you're dealing with is a user, so they know that they're investing. The stuff that they do for you is breadcrumbs compared to the energy. Your energy, which is priceless. Your presence, which is priceless. You don't let a lot of people in to get close to you. This person was able to do that, but they don't know the value. You don't even fully know your value. That's the reason why they've been able to get over on you and why they continue to try to sow confusion so that you can never know, because they want to continue to have access to you. All right, so it says respect divine laws. Call on Kaliel to enforce respect for the divine laws. It says perfect judgment, honesty. You're being honest with yourself. You have made the right judgment in setting up healthy boundaries concerning this person. Judge, lawyer, notary, magistrate. You are all of those things. You have become judge, lawyer, notary, and magistrate in this court of jurisdiction for your conscience. You're fighting to get your consciousness back because this person definitely has some black magic going on. Integrity, love of justice. You're walking in integrity because you know that will always align you with justice. I saw a card about integrity. Oh my God, what did it say? As I was kind of shuffling up my entire collection of handmade cards. Basically, you'll never lose with integrity. And that's where you lost. In the beginning of this relationship, it wasn't rooted in integrity. And that's where all the lines got blurred for you as a spiritual being. It says discovers truth from up above, rediscovers the source of elevation. Yes, you took your eyes, you looked up. This person had you looking down and was confused, but you finally looked up and you rediscovered your source, where your power is from, and you elevate it. That's the reason why you can set these boundaries. And 10 of Wands, drop the burden. It says capacity to see through intentions. Accept it for what it is. You see correctly because you have the capacity to see through intentions. This person, like again, they may have bought you stuff and was very generous, but they had evil intentions behind it. They didn't have a true plan or commitment or anything worthwhile for you. It was all empty. They were gaslighting you to have nothing and to like it. All right, so clarifying, it is being revealed. Snitching on themselves, we have the 10 of Wands. And so I really do feel like that it has already been revealed. This person has snitched on themselves. That's the reason why we have the 10 of Wands here. If you releasing the burden, you're letting go. This is the card of being overworked. You have been carrying this relationship or this situation on your back all by your fucking self. Okay, clarifying this, we have Imamia. Okay, this is, I'm gonna just put the card on my Imamia. This is 52, which is the number 7. Very sacred energy. This was with it being the number 7, it gives a life lesson, right? To stop carrying other people's burdens, to stop carrying other people's karma for them, to release and to let go. Wow, the first thing on this card, it says ease in recognizing one's errors. You are carrying the relationship yourself. You are carrying all of this trauma, all of the pain, all of the sadness, the heartache, the grief, because you wanted to help heal this person. They don't want to be healed. And they may have told you this, but you just could not see all that potential within this person and allow them to sabotage it. But ultimately they won. And you have to remember to stop interfering. Stop being afraid of being alone. Because that's part of the reason why you stuck around longer than you needed. It says allows us, Imamia allows us to expiate, pay for, and repair our errors, karmas. Wow. Once you release this burden, you'll be able to have access to the resource for elevation, so that you can pay for and repair your errors, for having that lapse in integrity. It trapped you into a loop of heartbreak. One decision took away 1.5 years of your life, months of your life, years maybe it's even just hours. But yes, thank you. Call on Imamia, and give thanks for her allowing us to release the burden. When it comes to these angel cards that I'm using, when I see L, I think masculine. When I see the AH, I think feminine energy. So total, we have 4 angel cards out here, and it's balanced. We have 2 L's and 2 A's. So you're balanced in your energy now. That's the reason why you're able to stand your ground. The Knight of Wands does represent the wounded warrior. This person did wound you, and you were down for the count for a very long time. But you release that burden. It says easy execution of difficult work. Before, it was a burden, it was heavy, it was difficult for you to let go. But Imamia brings easy execution to let this situation go finally. She supplies support during difficult moments. Okay? Look at here. You got to look at the visuals. This is the burden you've been carrying. Imagine you being that snail and carrying all these sticks. She's giving you support and releasing that. And you're going to step into a harmonious social life. Look at that. Beautiful. She's endowing you with ardor, strength, and great vigor. Makes peace with one's enemies. And one of the reasons it does say there's an apology, and you're going to accept it with grace, but there's no going back. Yes, Imamia sets us free from the prisons within. There's been a war within who you were and who you've become. Who you were was one that allowed the breadcrumbs, allowed yourself to be gaslit into having nothing and liking it. But you've come out of that energy, and you're free from that prison within. You've won that war. Are a faithful servant to your higher self. And Imamia is allowing you and endowing you with the patience and the courage to let go of this burden, that familiar place of being forgotten and abandoned and neglected. You accepted it for a very long time, and you carried the weight of other people's neglect and abandonment and rejection that they've shown towards you, but that was their baggage, not yours. Humility and simplicity is how you're moving forward. And again, it should have been an easy decision before, but again, you had a lapse in integrity, which brought in a lot of complications. If you'd have just been honest with yourself and chose the right way, you wouldn't have went through all of this, these complications and heartbreaks, and you would have had a simple life. You would have been further along. But it's okay. Again, with the number 7, this was a lesson. And Mamiya brings triumph over the lesson. It's a 52. You're able to see 5 represents changes, 2 represents decisions. You're seeing the consequences of your decisions, and you're making the necessary changes. Okay, accept it for what it is. It's being clarified by the Queen of Wands in reverse. And what do we got here? Hara'el, which is a number 14. Well, it reduces to 14, which reduces to 5. So again, that represents changes for the good. Look at that verse, intellectual abundance, because for me as a reader, cards and reversals is how people see you, and they see you as a warrior-tress. Okay? You have taken... Oh, I didn't know there was 2 cards here. Oh, shit. Y'all saw what it was, the King of Swords. Yes, they see you as the King of Swords too, making mind over heart decisions. Very wise. You learned the lesson. You've added this to your bag of experience. Okay? The Ice King. You're cold, but you're also very sexy and alluring with this Queen of Wands energy here. They see you as you've become even sexier to them now that you are giving them the cold shoulder, which is crazy. But again, intellectual abundance, and this also represents this card, accept it for what it is. You see correctly, and you have intellectual abundance. You've been seeing the situation for what it is, but you didn't allow yourself to believe it. You didn't want to believe it. It took everything in you. And you used everything in you to not believe it. But Hara'el is bringing you support and confirmation. Let's see what else is on the card. Here it says, emanates goodness, beauty, and truth. That's this Queen of Wands energy. You know your worth. No longer allowing yourself to be gaslit and to have nothing and like it, because you emanate goodness, beauty, and truth. You deserve more. self-love. Okay, it says well-balanced intelligence in business and in all fields. You're about to exceed in all fields, even your finances, especially your finances. Now that you have redeemed your heart, set healthy boundaries for your heart. Release the burdens that your heart was carrying. It says likes learning, right? That's why so you don't mind looking at the man in the mirror and taking accountability. Like you said, he had a lapse in integrity. You have to take accountability. But remember, Imamia is here